Just sitting here waiting on Lanee Vaughn to come on in. Come on. Any minute now. Waiting on her. Anyway, y'all. So this is the first. Oh, hey!
So can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Oh, welcome,
How are
welcome,
you?
welcome. This is our very first live. This is the very first live for Talk to Javon.
Yes, I'm so nervous.
Oh, no worries, no worries, no worries. So how you doing?
I'm doing well, just trying to keep mentally healthy. It's good to be off from work and still getting paid. Look at God, won't he do it?
Okay, all right.
Yes. So I'm not able to work from home because of the level of security of our security systems, IT systems, but I'm still getting paid, so that's lovely. So just trying to do some house projects and keep motivating myself and keep others motivated.
Okay, okay. We ain't gonna get into the security details and all that. We ain't
No,
gonna
we
do all
can't.
that. All right.
Mm-mm.
So give the viewers some stuff some background about you. Give me a little bit about you.
Where do you want me to start?
Well, let's start. We can just start from today. Where are you from?
Okay. So I am in Prince George's County, Maryland. So um,
DMV.
yeah, the DMV. That's right.
Okay.
Maybe about 20 minutes outside of DC.
Uh,
And I work for the Department of Defense. We'll just leave it there. And I am married, no kids yet. No
okay.
kids
You just spilling all
yet.
the tea, huh? You just giving the
I mean,
viewers.
I'm an open book for the people.
You
Whoever
giving
I
the
see
you
my
giving.
boy Tay. Hey Tay, I see you joining in.
Okay.
So yeah, that's about it. I'm just a bubbly person despite what I'm going through. A lot of people often say to me, like, we would have never known. We would have never known. So, sometimes you just got to put that face on and get through what it is. And you see how you inspire somebody else and put a smile on their face, and it kind of helps you get through whatever it is you're going through. So
Okay.
that's what it's all
Okay.
about.
So now, um, you do have a lot of titles to your name.
Yeah,
So,
you did that. You really sized it up. Like, these people are gonna be like, "Who is this now?" We have
well,
not seen her acting.
I mean, there's some things that I don't even know, but the acting part. How did you even like? Where did that even? Were you just sitting around one day? You say, you know what, I can do that, or were you just
Nah.
like, like internally, you like, I got this alter ego, like, I got to get it out, or did somebody just tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I need an extra?
Well, now we grew up together. I don't know how well you want the people to know, but I used to play with them Barbie dolls and act out all types of things. So I think I used to either dress you up as something or or make
I
you
don't.
play with something.
I don't remember that. No, I don't remember that.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
remember
well
that.
remember.
No,
Okay,
yeah, I don't
so
remember that.
I just think, innately, I just think it was just like I am shy. Like people would not believe that I am. Don't do that. I am shy, but I kind of just go somewhere else in my head, and I know that it's about entertainment, and I feel like, well, this isn't really me. So if they don't like the character, they just don't like the character. It's not me that they don't like. But so I still get nervous. I get really butterflies just everywhere. But it just came from the immediate gratification and wanting people to smile. Like I said, I don't know. I hear feedback. Do y'all hear that? No.
No.
Okay, so it just comes from wanting people to be happy, wanting to make people laugh, trying to pull on different emotions. So I just always wanted to, make people laugh or put a smile on their face. And what better way through acting, whether it's comedy or drama? just tapping in all types of emotions. It's so much fun to me. So I haven't been professionally trained. Like I've attended some acting classes, but I just think, it's just an extension of my personality.
Hey, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
So
right
if you
now.
say, would you prefer drama or comedy? I'm gonna guess comedy.
So right now I just do a lot of plays and they're mainly like spiritual plays, but there is some comedy involved. Unfortunately, I haven't been the comedic relief in these plays yet. I'm more so
Okay.
I know. Unfortunately, I do the drama aspects, but I would definitely like to get into more comedic roles.
So Shaq J22, what's up?
Hey.
So now, do you have any? How can the viewers come and check out your plays? I mean, once the
Well,
COVID-19 stuff is all over, how have they
yeah.
been getting out there in the community?
Well, we were supposed to have to debut in May, but it got pushed back because of COVID. So now we're looking at maybe September. And I'll post things on my page at Lanee_Vaughn 28 and talk to Javon. I'm sure will be promoting for me. And so just social media friends will repost things. Facebook, I post, when plays are coming up and whatnot. So hopefully in September, people will feel comfortable because I'm kind of concerned that people will still be kind of nervous about congregating in such big places as because we do it in the auditorium of a high school, and I just don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of that, of congregating, it is kind of to a point where I know that the pandemic is, worldwide, but
Right.
the fear. Okay, we all know that fear of death and dying. That's real. That never stops, and as you get older, that fear becomes more prevalent. Of course, when you're younger, you feel invincible. I mean, I know I did, but what can you? How? Okay, so if you were governor of Maryland, how would you get everyone back going?
Hmm. Dang, you didn't prep me for this question. No, well, I think that even once they slowly open up the states or whatever county you're in, I still think that for a while we need to do the no mask no service. I just especially
Oh,
because we don't, yeah. And I think that people are going to do it anyway, even if they remove the signs now. I don't know if out there in Texas if y'all have those signs that say no mask no service, but
I'm
any
pretty sure it's
public
coming.
place. Yeah,
I'm
we
pretty
have it
sure it's
now
coming.
on every grocery store, every restaurant. It says no mask, no service. So, unfortunately, but fortunately, I think that's going to be around even once we, go back to work. Because I've already been told once we go back to work, from the time we exit our car, we have to have a mask on. And if we're at our desk, by ourselves, nobody's in proximity, then we can take it off. But if somebody approaches us or we're in less, than 6 feet away from somebody, then we have to have a mask on. So I
So I'm,
just
I'm
think that.
curious, how would a restaurant open up its doors? I'm just curious, and say
Mhm.
you can't come in if you have a mask, but you got to eat.
If you don't have a mask, shut up. Well, right now you have to carry it out. They're not even letting people sit in.
So
But they
so
no, but really, I heard that some restaurants are like reorganizing their establishment where each table is 6 feet away from the next person. Bars are now, I haven't seen it, of course, but they're already planning that when they reopen, yep, that they are gonna situate the bar where you're 6 feet away from the person next to you. I just think
okay,
it's going to be a new way of living from now on.
or until a vaccine is created.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yep.
I did do some digging, and one of the major pharmaceutical companies is kind of ready to roll out 6 million doses, and I don't want to sit here and
Really?
yeah, and
Oh.
I don't want to sit here and speculate. This was just third party information I was given, so I mean, but I wonder if after the vaccine is like, okay, we got a vaccine, and just like the next flu season coming around, well, of course, I'm not sure how much you know about how viruses mutate and how they affect the body and how they live. Well, a virus needs a host. And I've heard all these different things like don't drink your water, um, uh,
What?
don't drink the Corona beer. That was the craziest one. I think it was a host.
That'd
But
be funny.
yeah, you gotta, you can't take a bath. I'm like, well, a virus needs a host. Okay, it is a
Yeah.
bug. It does attach to a host and it does stay dormant. And then when it finally gets enough, I'm just going to keep it in layman's terms, when it finally gets enough power, or it's not shy anymore, and it decides to come out, and then it comes out and then it attacks the body. And of course,
Yeah.
with any vaccine, you are given a small dose of that disease.
Exactly. I've never taken the flu shot. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
haven't.
I
And I
mean,
don't
we're
know.
not going to get into the
No.
vaccine thing
I
today,
don't know.
because then we only got an hour. Well, we only got 50 minutes left now, but that can go on for a
Yeah,
long,
I'm
long
not doing
time.
it.
But
Hmm.
just dealing with the COVID, just from my background as being a medical technician and working in immunizations for 10 years, um, the way that viruses. Okay, so with this COVID-19, and don't forget, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but being trained, you kind of know that. Okay, when something attacks a lot of people at one time. So people get the flu every year. Every year, somebody
Right.
gets the flu. But you usually down for the weekend, or you got to take a few days off of work, and then you
Right.
bounce back. You drink your vitamin C. You stay in the house. Of course, you don't want to be around other people because it's still contagious.
Hmm.
So now you have a different flu that's mutated, and it's highly contagious,
Yes, and
and
deadly.
it has a longer dormancy period. So,
Right.
and I think that what's up, Cam? Cam's enjoying one of my little ballers. Um,
I can.
so, with that longer dormancy period, it could possibly pass person to person to person to person. Because I do remember certain people that were around me were getting sick, and I just thought that it was the flu.
Yep. A lot of
Um,
people did.
yeah, they got sick and they bounced back, but and then they were like, "Man,
Exactly.
I'm down, like I'm down, down." And I'm like, "All right, well, stay home."
Hmm.
One of the guys that I play ball with, he was like, "Man, I'm rough." Like, we all told him to say, "Hey, bro, stay home." I mean, like, it ain't worth it. Like, stay home, get healthy.
Hmm.
And plus, you're out there, you're shaking hands, you're patting each other on the back, you're touching each other, you wipe your face, whatever, wipe the sweat off your
Right.
face. But um, I'm not trying to say that a lot of people have come in contact with COVID-19 already, and their immune systems may have caught it, fought it, pushed it
Hmm.
back out, and they kept on going with their normal life. But
Yeah.
also, when you get so many people affected, it's not just the ones who stay at home. There's some people that have to go to the hospital,
Hmm.
and the hospitals only have so many beds.
Oh yeah.
So when you get it's almost like when the theme park opens, everybody
Hmm.
wants to get on the ride, but everybody can't get on the ride. They got to wait in a long, long line.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Unless you're exhibiting, they say like life-threatening symptoms, they're turning people away. Like, go home, take your Tylenol, keep checking on your temperature, keep yourself hydrated with fluids, because we've all heard different things out here about if you think you may have been exposed to it, do this, do that, whatever. But they're definitely saying to like just keep your throat, you know, I don't want to say moist. People go
no,
crazy about that that
you know,
word sends people somewhere. But
yeah,
yeah,
I
you
know.
definitely have to like keep it keep your coated, keep it coated so that it helps to, if you have been exposed to it, it helps to like wash it down into your stomach. And apparently, the acid in your stomach will help to kill it. People are saying,
Yeah.
well, if it's so afraid of soap and water, like if it's that weak that like washing our hands is enough of a defense, like why can't we find something to beat it sooner than they're saying? Like if it's that weak or that whatever, like I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't want to be out here giving misinformation to folks, but
Well, I
just
mean, just like you said, it's a flu virus. Working in
yeah,
a hospital, when I leave a patient's room, I wash my hands so I don't go and contaminate the
yeah.
rest of.
The next room,
If I
yeah.
touch a pen or if I go to the next person's room, they teach us hand washing, hand washing. And for me, I mean, I've been retired now, but washing your hands, that was just like it was just a
A
routine
no-brainer.
thing, a no
Yeah.
brainer. Like, as soon as you get to work, wash your hands. Before you leave work, wash your hands. When you get back to your house, wash your hands before you go.
Right.
Remember when we was kids and we come outside from playing and we go to the refrigerator? You better
Uh-huh.
wash your hands
That's right. Don't go in my refrigerator without washing. That's right. So
because
we
we
just gotta take people back to the basics.
don't want to contaminate what we're going to put in our bodies.
Yep.
So, in our defense, yeah, if you just, I mean, it's a virus. It's not a systemic disease like diabetes, like something that attacks the entire system from low blood sugar. But it's
Hmm.
like it's a bad cold, but it's a flu.
Terrible. Yeah.
But we don't want to take up all of our time on this one because I got so many topics I want to hit you with.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
um, I know on your page you do kind of post a lot of motivational things. So
Hmm.
where does that come from?
Hmm. I just think that we all are born with certain gifts, and I believe that I have the gift of encouragement. Like I just have always been that person that's like, you can do it, girl. Like you got this. Nothing, can't nothing beat you, can't nothing keep you down. And I'm just a natural born optimist.
Hmm.
That's just it. Like, yeah, of course, I have my struggles, and I have my circle of friends and family that will encourage me, but it's just natural. Like I'm that girl that if I see you looking snatched, sis, I'm gonna say, "Oh, girl, you look cute." "Oh, girl, you wearing that," or what have you. I'm not afraid to give a compliment to another sister or even a brother. Now I gotta be careful with that because they swear you trying to holler at them, or you want their number. But
Yeah.
my husband, he ain't, he definitely not going for that.
Right.
But even when he and I were first dating, we went to a store, and the cashier, I just said, I forgot what it was. But when we left, he was like, "Wow, babe, it was almost like she lit up when you said that." And it was like you knew she needed to hear that. So I really think that I have a discernment sometimes that somebody needs to be uplifted. Like a girl, one day I was in the restroom at a restaurant, and I heard her talking about something, and I said something to her, and then it sparked a conversation. And before I knew it, she was asking me to pray for her. This is in a public restroom at a restaurant. And my
What?
brother was like, he knocked on the door. Eventually, he was like, hello, is everything okay in there? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. We're just in here praying. Like, so it's just something I enjoy. Like I said, it makes you feel good to make somebody else feel good.
Right. So that's more like the spiritual side.
Yeah.
Like okay, there's a lot of things going on right now with religion versus spirituality versus
Mm,
emotions versus mental health. How would
mm.
you discern the difference between spiritual and religious?
So spirituality takes more of a relationship. I mean, religious, we religiously brush our teeth every day. It's like a repetition.
Or
Oh
buy
God.
Jordans, right? Or buy Jordans, like, oh, can't wait to get the next pair of
Uh-huh.
Jordans.
Yes, standing in line for the new Jordan. Like, I just feel like religion is broad, you know,
Hmm.
but the spirituality takes time. It's just like an intimacy, a relationship. So the friendship with a person is the friendship, but the more you begin, it becomes more of a relationship because you have things that you can relate to with that person. You feel more comfortable sharing things because you have some friends that you may not talk to certain things about, right? But then you have that other person, right, where you will feel more comfortable opening up more or allowing them to see more into. So, I've heard years ago somebody broke down the word intimacy is into me you see. So I just think with spirituality, it's more of a connection and a deeper relationship. Whereas, we go to church religiously or we do something, religiously out of, the necessity to go, but taking it that next level, I think is where the spirituality comes in. And a lot of people get turned off because religion can be so off-putting to people and so kind of like judgy. I've heard people say, like, that religion, you have, well, I don't know. I want to be careful not to say
Uh-oh,
anything
uh-oh.
wrong, but
Hey,
religion can have
just
people
saying,
like
just saying.
with Jim, what was the man's name? Jones, something years ago that had
Yeah, we had
people drinking
Jim
the
Jones.
juice.
Jim
Jim Jones. Okay,
Jones.
I was going to say Jim Jones, but isn't that a rapper too? So I didn't
Yeah,
know.
that's a rapper too. Yeah.
But yeah, Jim Jones years ago had people drinking the punch, honey, because religion told them that this is what they should do. So I think it's a big difference into
So
knowing
you
for
think
yourself.
so? Spiritual is the relationship with another person or supreme being or yourself, and religious is more of the practice, traditional guidelines of how a person should live.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great way. Look at you. That's why you the doctor in this situation. On your way to PhD. Yes, that's the perfect way to say it. The
Okay, but
doctrines and the bylaws of something, but the spirituality is getting your own understanding, your own relationship.
right, 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 right. So like, because I mean, of course, there's different religions, and but okay, so there's so many different religions. I don't know how many
Hmm.
are there.
I have no idea. I would say
But
but only
then,
one God in
but
my
have you
opinion.
ever wondered why there's so many different religions, even in
I
2020?
have wondered. Yeah, I do wonder.
And have you ever wondered, like, I'm from DC, but I did grow up a small part of me in Georgia, and I
Hmm.
always wondered, you can drive down one street and you can have like a church here,
Yeah,
and I never understood, like, okay, churches are like a safe haven for people to go to.
should be.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's like Sunday morning. You put on your best, or you just come as you are, no matter what.
You
Um,
should. Yes.
yeah, and we don't even want it. Certain churches, you can't wear certain things.
My Lord, we'll be here all day. That is a serious pet peeve of mine. Like, yes, you should give your best. Like, if you get dressed up and go to the club, then surely the house of God deserves your best, right? However, if I want to come with my jeans on and my homegirl t-shirts, I should be able to. It is nothing, it's not hindering anything I'm receiving from the man of God or the woman of God that is giving me the word. And see, this is where I hear people say, they get turned off. Even my husband, like, oh no, I can't go to your church because I don't have a three-piece suit. Now, sometimes it's just ignorance. But no, because me, I'm comfortable enough where I'm going to go to the biggest mega church around the corner and I will wear me a blazer and some jeans and some boots if I want to. Because, like you said, come as you are. That not only means spiritually, because that's ultimately what it's saying, is because a lot of people will say, well, I'm not living right yet, or I'm not ready, or I'm still out here drinking or sexing or whatever. So I'm not going to go to church, but that's when you should come. So that's what it means, come as you are. But I also believe it means come however you are. If you don't
Right,
have the finest or the latest, or if you don't have a pressed shirt or jeans or what, or slacks or a suit, you should still come.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So that's
So
a big turn off with some people.
and sometimes like so like I've been in the fashion industry just for a few years in my mid 30s or my early 30s, and there's always this unwritten dress code.
Mm.
Like no one's gonna tell you, hey, you've got to show up and you can throw on a V-neck T-shirt and some lows and some jeans. But then when you show up, you're like, well, let me look at everybody else.
Right. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, you're still going to go out there and do your job. And, you
Yeah.
know, once you leave and you go home. But you're like that external peer pressure to fit in because we all want to fit in. I've been told that I'm a chameleon, that no matter where you put me in the world,
Mm-hmm.
you can drop me off, and then a week
Yep.
later, I'll learn the language.
Yep.
I'll learn where to get stuff. I'll learn my way around.
Yeah.
Um, One of my friends, Pedro, said, "Hey Jay, you've never turned away from a uncomfortable situation. Like the more uncomfortable, the more you enjoy it." And that is that is true. That is true. The more uncomfortable, because we all have to grow. But sometimes just being uncomfortable, it's just like I don't want to go somewhere in a foreign country and just be comfortable like I've been there.
Mm.
I'm here to learn, experience new different things, and
Right.
then take that to the next place.
Yeah.
Like even the way that my house is set up, it is not your average cultural black man's house, you
Mm.
know.
Yes,
And
you
I,
had some great help.
yeah, I did have some great help. Shout out to Sasha. Um,
Yes, Sasha, you killed that.
but and I don't think she's finished, but we still got some stuff to do. Got some paintings over there. Got some lighting, a
Mm-hmm.
fixture. I was nothing over there yet. But like when I say as a people,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're starting a new job, and we all know you need a job because you need income, you feed the family, or just need to have some money in your pocket, or you want a second job just to have a little extra money. But everyone's new at something at one time. So when that person does go to church, and this is their first time, and they've been invited, and they're sitting next to the people who invited them, and then they go meet the
Mm-hmm.
pastor, and they meet this person, they meet this person. When you see that, do you make an extra attempt to just make that person feel more welcoming, more
Yes,
comfortable,
that's
or do you
me.
or do you tap them on the shoulder and say, we're gonna need you to,
No. Mm-mm.
no,
No. I'm definitely that person that's like, girl, so glad you came. Hope to see you again. And I've had people say, like, I don't think I fit in. Like, everybody's so dressed. And I will immediately say, girl, you look fine. God is looking at your heart. He wants to know, that you're here for the right reason and not just to now you brought up something interesting because a lot of times you'll hear people say, like, just let them come. And eventually, like you said, you are chameleon. So you'll look around and say, like, oh, okay, well, I want to. Like, if it's an inside desire to say, because you'll have somebody that may not know. And so they may come, like, let's say, with a really short skirt on that may be considered inappropriate, and the church mother will give them the napkin to put over, right? So they will learn not to be chastised, but they will learn by seeing, by experiencing, by being in that culture, like, oh, you know what, this isn't quite appropriate. Let me, have it a little longer this time, or maybe I'll wear pants. So I just think that, a soft answer turns away wrath. You get more bees with honey. Like I've seen people turned away from church because the approach was wrong. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
right, right. Oh,
Because
Big
that
Derek,
that could have been their best.
what's up, Derek? Thanks
Hi,
for joining in,
Derek.
big dog.
Yes, that could have been their best. Like they left the house. I had one girl say, I felt so confident and beautiful about myself because she had just turned a certain age and she was still able to wear some certain outfit, and they let her have it. And it really crushed her. It crushed her spirit. Like church hurt is one of the biggest long time hurts of all time. Like I know people that still talk about a particular church that they went to and they were hurt by, and that's why they left. thankfully they rejoined somewhere else, but it may be that situation where they never go back to church, and you don't want that. I mean,
Yeah.
the church is, yeah, that's where we come together to worship together.
Right.
But you have people that can't make it to the physical building, and that's fine too. That's where the relationship comes in.
Right. 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 Speaking of relationship, we both have a big relationship with traveling.
No,
Like,
yours is much bigger than mine, sir.
so share with us one of your like we all know traveling things happen that you just can't control. Like,
Uh-huh.
have you ever had a story where you had like your clothes ended up in Chicago and you were in Miami?
No,
No.
thankfully not. But my husband did. The first trip we took together to St. Thomas, it was our first trip as a couple. Hi, New Journey.
Hey, New Journey.
Um, his luggage and yes, and it was lost for a couple days. However, he did get it back before our trip was over, but I could not imagine. Oh, my heart would be devastated because I mean, you pack all these outfits and you like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna be ready. And then your bag is gone and you don't know who has it, if you're going to have everything that you put in there when you get it back. So, oh, thankfully, no. So, if I am able now, I take a carry on.
Oh, yeah, and
Yeah.
Masperat, yeah, save that cheddar. So another one. Okay, so have you ever been on a? What was your favorite destination? Like if you could just get up today and go, no COVID-19, you got money, you got this $1,200 that they just dropped into your account.
Now, see, now there you go. You need to save that $1,200. Don't go out here buying the latest Jordans, Javon.
So what? So
Um, I
we'll get
haven't
into
been
we'll
anywhere
get into
exciting like that.
finances. We'll get into finances later, yeah, if there's a destination like you say, hey, I love going here, or like I've been dreaming of this since I was 15, and I just got to go as soon as this opens up. Where would you want to go?
Oh boy, that's a hard one. I'm gonna say Australia just because that's where Eric wants to go. That's his dream. Australia.
Australia, huh?
That's
Sydney, I'm
his.
guessing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Sydney.
So hey, why not? He also would like to go to Bora Bora.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I want to go to the motherland. Any part.
So now, here's this one big myth, and I'm so glad that our people of color are open and understanding that it doesn't take saving for 6 months
I
to just
know.
take a trip.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why you want to go there? That's expensive. That costs this. They don't even speak English. How many trips have you been on, and do they speak English?
You gotta live.
You gotta live. You gotta
Yeah.
live. So what?
Especially
What?
this is teaching us that. I believe like there are a lot of lessons to come out of this COVID, shelter in place situation. And one big one is to carpe diem, seize the day. Like
Seize the day.
I've been seeing those memes that's like, I promise if you invite me somewhere, I'm gonna come. Please invite me. Because you have those people that get invited and they're just like, no, I'm a homebody, I don't want to go. And you probably still will have those that will stay home, but it's
Yeah.
just funny that people
Yeah.
are like, invite me, I want to go. Somebody was like, even if it's at R. Kelly's house and Bill Cosby is making the drinks, I want to go. It's like,
Oh
dang,
my
people
goodness.
really want to
We
get out.
we need some more
So,
role models. We need some more role models. Please, we need some more.
but yeah, travel is definitely a misconception, and I was a part of that back in the day. Like, girl, please, money for what to do what? Mm-mm. But you have to see the world and what is out here, the great creation and just the beauty, and like you said, to experience different cultures and to learn from others, and like it's amazing.
Right. And
What we're
my
missing
first
out.
my first my first time Okay, well, no, my second time. My first time that I ran into a bunch of black people. I got on. I swear to God. I swear to God. I was in Portugal, in Lisbon,
Uh-huh.
Portugal. Okay. Um, I like to tell my stories. My stories are wild. I wish I could do more hand expressions, but we can't get everything on camera. But okay, so I'm in Lisbon, Portugal, right? I'm on my way to Brazil, and I had to spend the night in Lisbon in order to catch the plane to Brazil the next morning. So I get
Mm-hmm.
on the plane, I get on the bus from the hotel, and I get on the bus, and it's all these black people. I mean, of course, they were Africans. So let me get something clear. When I say black people, I mean black Americans. Okay?
Okay.
Now, if I call another country like Ghanans or Angolans, but see, I didn't know where they were from. But I got on the bus, and it was full of Africans.
Uh-huh.
And the crazy part about it, even though it was 5 o'clock, dark in the morning, I could see some of their faces. And some of their facial structures look like some of my homeboys that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
So that threw me for a loop.
Why?
I'm like, okay, they don't speak English or as a first language. And I'm looking at them, and of course, they looking at me.
Yes.
Like,
Like
what?
brother. Yes.
No, they looking at
Mm-hmm.
me like, what's he wearing? Because
Oh, okay.
I think I
Yeah,
had on
true.
like a track jacket, some
Mm-hmm.
sweats, probably some Jordans, probably who knows, and I'm looking at them, and they're I don't even know. So that was the first time, and then the second time was when we went to the Bahamas. From the pictures of the Bahamas, I thought that it was all white people.
Mm. No,
Those people were darker.
misconception.
They were darker than me. They spoke English. They were playing Lil Jon. They was out there with flip flops and sandals. So I was like, yo,
Hmm.
because when I think Caribbean, I think
Right.
brown skin, light skin. I think white, black mix. I think Asian. I mean, not Asian. Latino. But just to come into that atmosphere, I was just like, hold on. These people, they black like me, and they getting along just fine.
Well, you're the one that's more travel, being, former military. Thanks for your service.
Yeah, thanks for your support.
Where was the best place you were stationed and or visited? Like
Oh,
the
lost.
most beautiful or
Oh, okay. Because you got so many different things. Because when you say station, that means like you're there to live, and you're like, I'm gonna
oh,
be
okay.
here for a while. But when you say visit, that's like from being in the military. I went to Hawaii, had a time of my life. I hadn't surfed. I had never surfed. I
Hmm.
surfed after that first day of surfing.
Really?
The girlfriend I had at the time, she literally she was like, "You're surfing again?" I was like, "Yeah, go do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna go surf."
Oh my gosh. Oh no,
But
I would never.
I mean, we was on the beach together,
I
but
can't.
it was like, but don't forget, they make
Those
it,
waves.
but they make it for the beginning surfers. You're only going to be in the beginners area. Just trust me.
Okay. That's good to know.
So when you fall off, all you gotta do is just stand up and just paddle back out. Okay. But yeah,
Okay.
the wave don't come up nothing but to your knee. But for a beginner, that's a big wave.
Yeah.
Another
Mm.
place that I did enjoy was Rio de Janeiro.
Mm.
Oh, Carlos, big Carlos. Carlos, okay. So real quick, I'm glad you joined, Carlos. Okay, so when I got to Portugal, right?
Tushan joined us. I think that's how you pronounce that, sis. Sorry if I said it
Tushan,
wrong.
my bad, Tushan. What's up, Tushan?
Yes,
So,
Tushan. Tushan.
so Carlos. All right. So I get to Portugal 2004, 2005. Okay. And I'm playing basketball, whatever. Me and Carlos, I just knew Carlos as just this really like big basketball player guy, very humble, but just he
Mm.
was just so good. So when I go there in 2012, I get to hang out with Carlos a little bit more. I found out that Carlos speaks English. Like, I'm like, and Carlos is he's about your complexion. His family is mixed, and I remember one time we were hanging out drinking, and I said, Carlos, are you black? And he's like, yeah, Jay, I'm black. And I was like, but no, you're like you're mixed. And I think around the world that started to get me to see different things that yes, I'm black American. I'm black. But when I go to these other countries, I'm American. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Ain't that
But why did you
crazy?
think he spoke English?
Oh, because he didn't talk.
Okay.
Yeah, just because he didn't talk a lot. But then after getting to know him, and by that time, yeah, we became really,
So he
really
was in the
close.
military with you?
No, he's a ball player. He's a basketball player.
Oh,
He's a professional basketball player.
okay.
Carlos Diaz, about 6'8" monster. Just like he eats weights for a living. All right, that's enough about Carlos. But yeah, another place that I did enjoy a lot was Las Vegas. I was stationed there, and
Oh yeah, you still love it.
yeah, I still love it. I feel, and it's not because of the partying. It's the atmosphere when you start making friends there, and you understand that there's more to life outside of Las Vegas, and it is in the middle of a desert. But that city just doesn't have much of an identity outside of gambling. So when you do meet someone that says, "Hey, I'm from Vegas," and then you're like, "Okay, well, what do you do?" But you find a natural, raw people, and
Hmm.
that was good. Down here in San Antonio, it has its challenges, but I'm pretty sure I'll find some friends that want on the same page. But if not,
I'm sure.
I'm looking forward to the next few years as I continue studying and just keeping it going like that. So we're almost coming up to our time limit. Is there any final thoughts
Wow,
that you
that
want
went
to?
fast. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Final thoughts about. Oh, there were some things that I sent you that we were going that, and I can't look at my phone right now because I'm using it. But there was a topic or two about the relationship between men and women, or
Ooh,
is chivalry right? We're going to talk about is chivalry dead,
is chivalry dead,
and then
or
there was another one.
is chivalry dead, or is it just the fact that our generation, 40 and under, 40 to 40, 35 to 40, I would say 30 to 40, but really 35 to 40,
Uh-huh.
um, has it been some things that weren't taught? I'm
Well,
gonna.
I mean,
Okay, this is what I believe. Crack
first of
cocaine
all,
hit.
I believe it's dead. So
Yeah, it's not dead.
nobody was
Crack.
running to open the door for somebody,
Okay,
or
and okay, so now there's a generation. Crack
hmm.
cocaine. It came in what? 82, 83.
Okay, what does that have to do with it? Go
Boom.
ahead, I'm
I
listening.
love it. I love it. Who did it affect? It didn't affect the kids yet. It affected those people who were probably just kind of poor, whatever, and they started getting high, and then that addiction led to what? Death, uh, addiction, drug abuse, poverty,
Hmm.
and when you take away the parents, so they all may have already had kids, right? So you take the dad away, he in jail on a misdemeanor drug charge, or it became a felony drug charge for crack, not for cocaine, for crack. Okay, you got the mom in the house. Okay, she's not on drugs. You got no dad. That mom has to be the mom and dad. So that mom is going to make sure that that child is raised to respect women in a certain way. So if it's a daughter, their daughter will be expected. Now, what if you flip it? What if the mom got strung out on crack? Who's at home to raise the kid? The dad, right? That
Possibly, or
dad,
grandma,
that
grandma.
Okay, and the grandma. But does the grandma morals go with the 1980s? Grandma's morals can't go with what's going on in the 80s because she was born in the 30s. By the
Okay,
time the
but
80s
see,
came, she was like,
that's
I
where we
don't know.
raise up a standard. See, we cannot just say, well, this is what everybody else doing, or so and so doesn't do that. I know people who will not allow their wife or somebody they're dating to open a door. Like
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's keep
it
this
will
thing
blow,
going. Let's keep this thing
it will blow
going.
their mind. It's
So,
like,
so
what
let's
are you
keep.
doing? Like they will almost get in a fight with the person. No, they will almost get in a fight with the person. Like, don't open that door. Like, girl, who you used to being with? That's not how we roll. But see, a lot of times it can come from the woman possibly being too independent. Like, no, I can do what you can do. I don't need you. You know. So
Stop, 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 stop. Let's pull it back. Why? Okay, so you really have to look at this as a timeline. The crack cocaine epidemic was so huge that
why
it
do
just
you correlate the crack epidemic to somebody being a perfect gentleman? I'm not saying that.
because where did the gentlemen go? They got strung out. Crack was not like smoking a little bit of weed. Crack destroyed communities. Crack took down big entertainers that we thought. Crack just pummeled life. It pummeled everything. And finally, we're building it back up in like 2000. I say 2005 is when we finally were able to build it back up with the generation of us who were those kids, and we started going out and making the .coms and doing in industry things and merging lines. But it was that generational parent, because you got to admit, that parent in the 80s, all right? Now, me and you, the we are the minority that made it through. But for the majority of it, if you have mom and dad strung out on that, who's raising who? Who's going to pass that down? You get to foster care, you get to your homeboys. That child now has to learn about survival. He ain't opening a door for nobody. He like, I ain't had no mama, I ain't had no daddy. Then
Well,
we get
once you
to it,
know better, you do better. So there's
and
always a way to
so,
better thyself.
and I like how you said that independent woman. What's that song? I'm a '90s girl, right? The '90s, early '90s is what?
Yeah.
Is what? UNITY. You gotta
I'm
let them
never
know.
too I'm never too independent for a perfect gentleman. Now, let's move on to this other one because you had an interesting response when I sent you the thing about I think it was a meme that said a woman builds up or helps to formulate a man to be a better man for the next woman, whereas the man has destroyed the woman for the next man to come along, so to
Oh,
speak. I'm
yeah,
paraphrasing, but you remember the thing I sent. It was like, here
yeah.
I am making you a better man, and then we break up, and now you a better man to somebody else, whereas I'm left with all this bitterness and hurt for the next man. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's true?
Oh
You think
yeah,
that's
it's 100% true. It is 100% true. And I don't. I used to have rules for the dating life. For
mm-hmm,
all those rules that I had,
yeah.
I you, and I think it's a generational thing too. So like the things that I did to protect myself, I can't pass those down to the younger generation coming up because they're looking at me like, oh, we don't do all that, man. We don't do all
Right.
that. We just get into the DM and we get
Yeah.
you do a few, and I'm like
Yeah,
you
it's
don't even
different. Yeah.
talk to nobody face to
Mm,
face or to see
definitely.
if they gotta. But when I say build up, yes, um, um, I did have some women in my life that um, they pretty much like showed me the ropes of the civilian world versus the military world because I was in the box. Usually, we say the box is being in the military. That we only see certain things on a day-to-day basis. We don't. We don't have that civilian life interaction. Like, we know where our paycheck's coming from. We know where our next meal is coming from. We know where our next job is coming from. We know that we have a contract, and as long as you perform, you can extend your contract for 20 years, and then you get a retirement. Civilian world, it ain't the same. So when I was trying to marry the civilian world in the military world, I didn't really have that many civilian mentors around me. So the women that I had dated at that time, they were so beyond me that, yes, we didn't go into it dating thinking that it was going to go into marriage, definitely in a city like Las Vegas. But there was a certain unwritten way that I was supposed to act when I was around them. And there was a certain type of goals that I was supposed to have when I was around them. And then, you know, when the relationships dissolved, I still kind of had like these goals. And they were good goals. I'm not going to take on any bad characteristics of anybody. Hey, Nancy, Portugal in the house.
And I just saw that Carlos commented was like, I'm black with all these exclamation points. First I thought he said I'm back. And I was like, well, where did he go? But it says I'm black. That is funny. Well, I do agree that you know, I have friends.
And the backside of that one is that, unfortunately, some women do want to build up this man and break him down and get him wearing, you know, his pants on his butt. And then when he does, then a lot of times some women come into a relationship as, I'm a fixer, I'm a fixer, I'm a mother, I'm a fixer, I'm a mother, I'm a fixer, I'm a fix you. And some guys are like, well, I ain't broken. But they may not understand that she is not saying that I'm going to fix you, but like, I want to make you better. My job is to make you better. And then, of course, when there's enough, you know, head butting going on, and then they dissolve, yeah, it finally kicks in. And then he meets the next girl, and he's like, well, everything that Susie was trying to teach me, I was going against her, and now I'm with Mary, and life is great.
Yeah, I have a friend. Well, you know, I know people who have been in a long-term relationship, not married, maybe most of their 20s they spent with this one person. So after all those years of dating, maybe even living together, they break up. And then this person marries somebody like in less than 6 months later. And it wasn't anything like he was saying this person the whole time. It's just like they kind of grew up in a relationship with you, but the end result was the demise of the relationship. And then they go take whoever they are now, that mature man or that, you know, mentally more mature or stable or financially stable, and then they go give that to somebody else. To me, that would be the most devastating thing.
Yeah.
And I just think that we have to, you know, I heard somebody say we have to teach people how to treat us.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know love is long suffering. Sometimes, you know, people say love is blind. So you may stay in a relationship longer than you should have. You know, we all have, but I just think that we have to have more self-value to realize, like, hey, this is it. It's not working out. Let's go our separate ways, instead of throwing away years you couldn't get back. And, you know, a lot of people wouldn't even look at it as throwing away the years. They would look at it as a learning example, which is good. Like, I'm glad. A friend of mine to this day was like, I don't regret it. She was like, I spent all those years with him. And, you know, sometimes I get down because I'm like, wow, I could have been with somebody else and possibly have been married. But she was like, ultimately, you know, it made me who I am today, so I don't regret it. So if that's the case, then more power to you. But I would just encourage people to know your worth, know your value, know that somebody, like, if your love language is not being considered, like ultimately considered, because we all have a love language, and that could be a topic for another day. But if that person is just like outright just not giving you what you need and deserve, it doesn't take anything away from either person just to be like, hey, wish you well, sayonara, hasta luego, whatever it is, I got to go, because life is short.
Life is short, and there's no reason to break. Like, you can break up with someone, and you can be classy about it. You don't have to go through their phone. You don't have to, wait till they sleep and then sneak out the house and then
Right.
try to play around. You can just say, sit down, and it may be a tough conversation because you're going to inconvenience somebody because somebody, at least for the next, few weeks, going to have to look for somebody else. But
Mm-hmm.
these are I don't know if there's a right way well, I know there's a wrong way to break up. We all know the wrong way to break up, but I think you can dissolve things and just be like, hey, look, I'm going this way in life. I need some space. I just need to figure some things out. It doesn't have to be the cliche like, it's not you, it's me. It can just be
Sometimes
like,
it is.
but it can just be like, we had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of things together, but I think that it's time, and
Yep.
and I really think that for all the times that I've been broken up with, or I had to break up with someone, I valued their honesty versus
Right.
um, them sneaking around on their phone.
Absolutely.
Um, the homie saying, "Yo, man, yo, you still with such and such? Yo, I saw her at Subway with such and such." You're like, what?
Right.
You know, you don't have to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
but if I can pass anything on to the younger generations, is that would be it? Is to say, value your self worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you in something and you don't want to be in it anymore, your 20s, tons of curiosity going on.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you really like. You know what the rap videos tell you like. You know what your homies, as from a guy perspective, you know what Nelly said, tip drill. Okay, that's what I need to be looking at. Okay, all right. I don't know that I need to look at the booty. I may want to look at. I may want to look at her stomach.
Mm-hmm.
I may want to look at her legs. I may.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know at that age because you're now an adult.
Right.
Your parents may have been shy in teaching you about the birds and the bees. So you got to figure it out on your own. So I think in the 20s, I hope that the young generation, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a savior, but I hope that they can just catch on and just be like, hey, we need to handle ourselves because the people behind us are looking at us. They're not looking at the 40-year-olds. They're like, oh, you guys are old. Yeah, okay, not old as you think. But no, this was great. This was great. There's a whole bunch of other subjects that we didn't touch on, and
Yes.
I do want to bring you back, and we'll definitely put you on the calendar. And
Awesome. Can't wait.
I'm going to make some. Are you over your butterflies now? The next one,
Yeah. Yeah,
we
this is
got.
cool. Just like a conversation with my brother. That's all.
That's all. That's all.
Yep.
And I hope that when you go live on your page, that you can invite me back, and then
This
I
is
can.
my first time ever going live, and I like it. I think I've been bitten.
Oh.
I've been bitten by the live bug. So maybe I will go live a time or two, and you will definitely be my guest. Absolutely.
All
I wish
right.
I could
All
just
right.
pinch your cheeks. Look at you. I miss you.
I miss you too, but we're gonna go
Okay.
ahead on. We got a minute and a half remaining.
Uh-huh.
So lead us out of here with your inspirational quote for today, because I'll be seeing you going in. So
Okay.
you got 90 seconds remaining. Go.
I got one. Just life is like an elevator. Everyone is not meant to go with you to the top. So on your way up, there may be cause or reason to let somebody off. Amen. That's it. Everybody's not mentally, emotionally prepared to go to the level that you're going to. And you have to evaluate that, because if not, they can begin to pull you back down to where you've worked so hard to climb. Be cautious on who you let take the ride with you.
I'd
Peace
be
out.
pressing that button like, nope, 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 nope,
That's right. That's right.
All right. So
All right.
I will post this on my YouTube channel, and
All right.
I will send you the link so that others
Okay.
can, when you're driving in the car, you don't want to turn the radio on, just click on the link and listen to us. All right.
Talk to
This is
Javon.
just Talk to Javon, our very first one of many, and I look forward to hearing from others. DM me if you would like